So if you're just joining us, it's the Daily Show with Derry-Ann, and today we're talking about immigration and the different immigration statuses that are out there, and also what we need to do to secure ourselves in the wider community. So the first thing to note that if you have a green card, the permanent residence card, most people call it the green card, that one is for 10 years. If you've put yourself in a position where you've renewed that, that could have been avoided because that's money that's spent unnecessarily. After 5 years maximum for any filing condition that you came to the US through, whether spousal, parental, siblings that filed for you, you're able to file for your citizenship after 5 years. And the green card expires, the permanent green card expires after 10 years. You cannot file for your citizenship with an expired green card. If your green card has expired, then you're illegal. The day your green card expires and you're in the US, you become illegal because then you have no status whatsoever. And in order to file for your citizenship, you will now have to renew your green card. Even though you don't plan to utilize it, you have to renew it in order to get to your citizenship. There are a lot of things now, a lot of conditions that are being placed on you being a permanent resident. Like, for instance, if you are receiving any government assistance, and that includes but is not limited to Medicaid, food stamps, cash assistance, any of those assistance that you get from the government will disqualify you, and this is a bill that has already been passed, from retaining your permanent residency, which means you can and will be denied and you will be deported. It's already the law. Another thing that can affect your permanent residency is traveling and staying outside of the US longer than 6 months per calendar year for any reason. Also, you are in jeopardy of losing your permanent residence status if you've ever been convicted of any crime, which means at some point you're going to need to renew that status, and when you do, you will be denied and you will be deported. We're not making this up. It's out there for you. There's an article that it's in the Miami Herald, Impact 2020. And the title of it is "Immigrants Can Lose Their Green Cards and Face Deportation If They Make These Mistakes." All of what I'm saying to you, or most of what I'm saying to you, is on there. You can go on there and you can find out for yourselves. Education is powerful. Educating yourself and knowing where you stand is powerful. Denial is not going to help you. And I know we have the tendency in our culture, and when I say in our culture, I don't mean as black people. I'm speaking mainly right now of the Caribbean culture, more specifically the Jamaican culture. But this is for everyone. Sometimes it's the kind of, like, for example, if you're sick, you know you're not well, but you believe that going to the doctor and being diagnosed is going to make it worse. No, whatever you have is still going to be there, whether or not you know or you get confirmation. If you feel like something is wrong, go to the doctor, find out what it is, come up with a plan. Maybe it's as simple as changing your diet. Maybe it's as simple as getting more rest. Maybe it's more complicated than that. But not knowing is not better than knowing, because you feel like if you ignore the problem, it's going to go away. Your immigration status, it's one of those things that you don't want to ignore because of the climate that we're in now, where we're seeing things that we've never seen before happening, and people or 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 maybe it's just that it's never happened to you personally, or it has never happened to somebody that you know, to make it real for you. I hope it does not come down to that to get you to move towards what you need to do. There are things that can be done. Like, for instance, like I said, we're going to give you information to help you navigate your way to get to where you need to be, from where you are to where you need to be. Once per month for right now, at the Lauderhill Mall, there's a citizenship drive. There are people out there helping you to put your documents together, to put the packages together for you to file for your citizenship. They also have a waiver that most people that show up, they qualify for. It's an individual basis. So please don't go on and tell the people that I said once you show up, you're going to qualify. But there is a waiver. Right now, the fee to file for your citizenship, it's $640 for the application and $85 for the biometrics. Yes, because in total, it's $725 in total that you have to pay for everything. The biometrics, that's your fingerprinting and all of that they need for you to do for you to get your citizenship. And you did that to obtain your permanent resident status as well. You have to do that again for your citizenship. Should you go to this drive and you qualify, they have waivers to waive that $725 that you have to pay in order to file that application. They put your documents together. They put everything together. All you have to do is take it from that location at the Lauderhill Mall, go to the post office and mail it. That's it. They put everything together. The problem is it's a month to month basis. We never know which month they're not going to be there. It's now February and they're going to be there this coming Saturday, the 15th, at the Lauderhill Mall doing the citizenship drive. I am imploring you, if you are a permanent resident, you've been here for more than 5 years, go out with your documents, and I'm going to give you a list of the documents that you should walk with, because we don't want you to have to go home and come back if you don't necessarily need to do that. As long as your permanent residence card has not expired, because if you go with an expired green card, they won't be able to do anything for you. You're going to have to go and renew that card. As a matter of fact, like I mentioned before, if your card has expired, you're now illegal in the country. So whether or not you plan to file for your citizenship right now, it's a good idea for you to go and renew that card, because you're in jeopardy of losing your status of being legal here. So the requirements are, if you reside in the U.S. as a permanent resident for 5 years, 3 years if married and living with the same U.S. citizen. So remember before when I mentioned that if you're married for 3 years, you're eligible to file for your U.S. citizenship? It does not mean that you were married to Tom for 1 year, you got a divorce, and then you got married to John for 2 years. So in total, you've been married to U.S. citizens for 3 years. It has to be 3 years with the same person, 3 years or more with the same US citizen. So you're gonna, these are the requirements. So don't even go if you don't meet the requirements. You have to be at least 18 years old, physically present in the US for half of the 5 years or 3 years period. So again, with your green card, you're allowed to travel and you can stay outside of the US for a maximum of 6 months without getting in trouble. But that's not necessarily the wisest thing to do, because when you are filing for your US citizenship, they ask you to put your travel dates, the days that you spent outside of the US. They want it for the last 5 years, starting with the most recent date.